thank you for being here tonight. I hope that you'll learn something from this. I know I've enjoyed working with the staff at the Energy Corridor District where I'm employed as the general manager, making this a team project where we all worked together on it. Great. So why does the Energy Corridor care about walking? We're a car-centric place. Why do we want to be a bicycle and walking friendly place? And this is the reason why. Fabiana came to work for the Energy Corridor this summer as an intern from Texas A&M's School of Landscape Architecture and Urban Planning. And Fabiana moved here from Turin 3 years ago. And she has found that it's a very different place. Since childhood, she says this, I have never been dependent to the car. And her folks moved to College Station. They did have a little reprieve from that, and they moved to the Bridgeland, where it would be closer for trips to Houston, and there are pedestrian and sidewalk connections from their homes to the big lakes and to the parks. But she has to come to work at the Energy Corridor on the west side of Houston, and so she finds herself in traffic to come to work. In fact, she's seeing the whole American set of problems where we have a much more sedentary lifestyle than the European life that she came from. Roads from home to work or from home to school do not have the infrastructure to support walking and bicycling. And of course this is caused by urban sprawl, but it limits physical activities. So, the growing distances have been made more convenient by using cars, faster by using cars, and easier by using cars. However, that convenience is becoming a headache, and it is becoming a problem instead. So how can we solve this problem? And I'll go over 3 ideas. One, and this is from Fabiana, she says, let's promote pedestrian-friendly strategies for future development. Let's invest in infrastructure that can support bicycles and pedestrians. And then let's create more mixed land use areas that generate a more pedestrian-friendly environment. This is the amazing growth that's happening on the west side of Houston right now. The far right bar chart shows the amount of construction happening right now. It's greater growth in office development than we have seen in 30 years. However, the Class A office tenants today and the millennials they are hiring don't want the old campuses. They don't want the old buildings. They want something that's not so dependent on the private automobile. And back in the previous 3 decades, we weren't so interested in walking and bicycling. The new campuses are taking advantage of the views of Terry Hershey Park, of the reservoirs in the area, and the tenants are demanding new park connections for access to 40 miles of trails. Local bus and shuttle stops and pedestrian amenities are being incorporated into the campuses with walkways to encourage healthy outdoor activities and walking. This is my favorite, the biking to work, where companies recognize that workers want active transportation solutions, so special events and lunch and learn seminars are held throughout the year, encouraging cycling safety to show how to bike to work. Some companies go so far as to provide indoor parking and bike corrals with secure key code access, repair stands, replacement parts, and tools for tuning your bike before you return home. And in the Energy Corridor, Harris County, the city, TxDOT, and other agencies are working together to provide safer infrastructure to encourage bicycling and walking activities. If you're familiar with that part of West Houston, the 2 reservoirs are the large detention facilities built in World War II to protect downtown from flooding, Addicks and Barker reservoirs. The commercial development around that and the residential homes have now encroached upon the detention facilities. However, that green facility, that green open space is an asset to get from the homes to the workplace. So today, There's over 200 acres of land in the spillway in Terry Hershey Park coming out of the Addicts Reservoir that is seeing development of 1,200 apartment units and about 6 million square feet of office space in the area that will be connected with trails and walkways. And hopefully we'll go from that single focus of large apartment complex or an office complex to more of a mixed use place that will have the walkable environment that's demanded by tenants, shoppers, and residents. But that's not the way Houston works. That is the way enclaves within Houston work. And so most of our trips in the region are still going to be by cars. And this is the concept that we don't necessarily want to continue those trips by car. In the business district, you see on the far right, downtown, Greenway Plaza, Uptown, West Chase, Memorial City, Energy Corridor, connected by I-10, West Park Toll Road. And what we're trying to do is create a program similar to Lyft and Uber, where on your phone you have an app called Karma, and from that app you can match a trip with your Vulture neighbor so that you're actually sharing the seats in your car, taking a car off the road, more people on the road, even though we have this phenomenal growth that is occurring. You're at work, you don't have a car. Our solution to that is we provide a car for you at work. It's not your office pool car, but it's an hourly rental car that we have a program with Enterprise, just like Zipcar is providing inside the loop. The concept for connecting with transit in the west part of the city, and orange are those park and ride lots, an idea that we need to have two-way park and ride lots on 290, 10, West Park, and 59. The amazing thing here is, what if we took the light rail and BRT concepts that would connect to the Uptown area, Greenway Plaza, and brought it out Westheimer and the other roadways, so we could connect those two-way park and ride lots. And then what if the green, which shows the corridors, natural corridors, whether utility corridors or bayous and parks, we connect those business centers and neighborhoods with walkways and bikeways. Today we have 40 miles of trails. There's a West Houston Trails master plan for the area that's proposing to extend that to 100 miles, filling gaps and making connections that will tie in with the city's Bayou Greenway Initiative and Brays Bayou and Buffalo Bayou. But we got to get from the bayous and the parks to the business centers in an area that didn't build sidewalks. So sidewalks are being built, and along those sidewalks, installing shelters for bus patrons, and then providing for the comfort and shade from the elements for bus patrons. 6 miles across this Energy Corridor business district. You're not going to walk 6 miles, so we are dividing it up into half-mile zones up and down Eldridge and along I-10, where it makes sense to go from home to work, or from the grocery to the grocery store, or from the hotel to work, or from hotel to the restaurant. There it is. I'll go back one. Oh, there's the computer. All right, well, I'll go forward. The idea that we would have cycle tracks, side garden walkways, pocket parks, bus shelters, and amenities on the corners, so that as you go from those one destination to another, you actually have a safer walking area. This shows on an intersection how cars would be more aware of the pedestrian, and then how we would provide amenities for the pedestrian on the corners. I'm going to close with a couple slides. One that's going to show the idea of a livable center that we worked with with Metro and with HGAC to develop the Addicts Park and Ride as a transit-oriented development with multimodal functions, transportation functions at that corner. And then today we're working with Texas A&M students, and they're looking at that a little differently, with plazas that you would have public art with a large bridge air condition that would go over I-10, and that would connect that park and ride on one side of I-10 to the businesses on the other side. Whatever happens, there'll be some function, some new use for the park and ride. So why change the energy corridor's car-centric model to a place where one can walk? Well, we want to create a place for the future that will attract Fabiana, attract her other classmates and others looking for a healthier lifestyle, and a place to meet others looking for an experience that makes our journey more pleasant. Thank you.